Welcome to Fizzy Friday. And I don't know, am I on Facebook and on YouTube at the same time? Who knows if I did it right? Who knows if my internet will stay online, because this week it's been going off and on. But we are just going to start making, and who knows where this is in cyberspace somewhere, if anywhere at all. Okay, my mix is almost done mixing. I have quite a few potential molds to test. Many of them are existing designs that I've been requested to make other sizes for. Just trying to find, I don't know. Let's see if I can put this somewhere so I can actually see if people are chatting. Okay. I don't know if I'll see Facebook messages, so let me actually go and watch this as well on my phone, so that if there is a, pardon, Moai. Let's see, how do I find it in here? Where do I go? I think there's a way to get to my group here. It says it's live, but I don't see it. It says live now. Let's see if I respond going. Will it show me then? I don't know. This live video should start soon, so maybe it's not working. If it comes up here, then I will see it, but hopefully you're seeing it on YouTube, and if you are, feel free to say hello. My name is Nectaria. I'm the owner of Sophistication, and I do a few things, but one of the things I do is I make bath bomb molds. I design them, and then I print them, and then I sell them. I also, for some of them, sell the files if you have a 3D printer. Not all of them, mainly because it's just me, and I just need to make time to actually go and upload the files. But let's get started. Ooh, this color is so pretty. Oh my gosh. This is the color Snozberry from Scandalous Soap Company. I just got like all sorts of colors from them. And look at, she has Mrs. Scandalous on the box. I want a huge stamp like this. And this is the color in the bowl. I've been wanting Snozberry for a while, and I finally got it, and I love it. If I do end up seeing chats, I don't think it's working on Facebook, so I apologize. But if I do see comments in here, oh, Trish says, hi, actually, I'm watching on my 55-inch TV. Oh, I must be really big. So as you can tell, if I see comments, I will read them aloud, because if this somehow comes onto Facebook and there are comments on Facebook, then the YouTube people won't see it, and vice versa. Plus, even though I've told YouTube to keep the comments in the video after the live stream is done, like when it posts the replay, it doesn't do it. So I don't know why. This is solopreneur life, okay? You just try and do IT stuff even though you're not an IT person. Okay. And I'm kind of bummed that this did not work the way that I thought it would, but that's okay. That's okay. I did tell my Facebook group, I included a link to my YouTube channel, and I said, if I'm not live on Facebook, come join me on YouTube. I'm using water as my binder. I have way too many designs to test. I'm hoping that I can get through them all. The formula I am using is the low humidity bath bomb formula from Bath Fizz and Foam. If you purchase that formula, there are actually 3 formulas in that one, and I'm using the Robin's Favorite version. And my humidity is at about 38% right now. So it's kind of more normal. Like I would say under 40% is technically starting to get in low territory. In the winter, I'm probably like around 10%. That's why I got low humidity formula. But before the low humidity formula came out, I was using the high humidity formula. I just had to kind of tweak it a bit to make it work. Like it would still work. It's just that the finished bath bombs were a little bit dusty because obviously I was making them in low humidity, but they were still coming together. But the low humidity formula is definitely, you know, it works a little better. A little better. Okay, I'm giving up on the Facebook thing because I don't see it here. And so I'm going to just turn that phone off, put it over here where I will forget it. So before I started this live, like some of these, I was away last week, right? So some of these molds are ones I did like 2 weeks ago because somebody requested them. But I was away last week, so I couldn't test them. And so then when I was getting ready to start today, that's one of my printers who just finished. I don't know if you heard that little song. When I was getting ready to start today, I could not find them. And I'm like, I could have sworn I printed them before I left for vacation. Anyway, so I finally was like, oh, let me hurry up and get them printing, which is what just finished. And then, of course, I found them. You know what else? I usually have an overhead camera here so you can like see also what's happening here from an overhead view. And I can't find that camera. Anyway, okay, let's get started. I'll start with the ones that were requested first, which are the ghost designs, but in a midi size. And I apologize because given this is not, I don't have the up close, you're not going to be able to see the details of this because I'd have to go like around my table and over there to show you. And because I got a lot of molds to do, I just want to bang them all out. So I'm not going to walk over there to do it, but when I can, if I can at the end, I'll bring the whole tray over to show you. So put that there, and that there. I'm doing all sorts of fun colors in there. There are the ghosts that I have 4 different expressions. One is surprised ghost, which is the one I'm doing now. I will recreate his or her expression if it comes out. I mean, I don't want to jinx myself, but like these should work. Okay. And so midis, I aim for about, let's take it off over here. Totally worked. That's the surprise ghost. I aim for these to be around the 3-ounce mark, around 100, 120 grams, 100-ish, 3.5 ounces. It's somewhere ballpark there. I am finding them to be a lot more popular because obviously, like as people are tightening their belts, they still got to take a bath, but maybe they don't need as big of a bath bomb for that. And so many of my designs I can make into smaller ones, and especially when they're like already in a mini or micro mini size, I can almost definitely make them into midis. But I have to say that unfortunately, because it's just me, it can take a little while to get there. So apologies. I really like the hybrids because I find them really quick to make with. I find them really fast to use. That's the smiley, the happy ghost, and it's just a smile with eyes, obvi. Let's do the angry ghost next, which I will not be able to recreate the eyes because they're like flamey, but then it's a frown face. Anyway, so I don't even know what I was talking about. What was I just saying? I don't even remember. That goes there. That's going to go there. What was I just saying? Something about making them. Oh, it takes me a little while to do them because I don't just go in like, there are other people out there who sell molds that they don't design the molds, they buy the files. And so if they want to resize it, unless they go back to the designer that I know of, the only way to resize it is that basically when you 3D print, you put the file into a certain program that basically is called a slicer, and it basically like breaks down the thing you're going to print and puts it into like language that the 3D printer can understand how to print it. And perfecto. That's not the angry face, but as close as I could get. So in your slicer, you can like scale your things up and down. But if I were to scale my things, let's say I were to scale it down, then, hold on, I just got to get a spoon to get this dust, embed dust out of here. If I were to size it down, then everything would be sized down. So like all the little pieces, all the little, like the walls would be thinner, the height wouldn't be as high. If there were, designs in it, maybe the lines might get too small. Like there's different things that could happen that make it not really work as well anymore. Whoops, that's not supposed to be that. That's supposed to be this. So I don't like to use the slicer to scale them because I don't think it will make as good of a bath bomb mold. Like you're running the risk now that it's going to have more sticky places or whatever. So I actually go into my design program and I basically scale it. I scale the drawing. I was going to say drawing, but I scale the drawing. Drawing? How do you say that? Drawing? Drawing? See, drawing sounds wrong, but that's how it's spelled. But drawing, the drawing, that's how I would say it. But is that right? Are you playing a drinking game and do you have to drink whenever I say drawing? Drawing? Hello, my name is Simon and I like to do drawings. This is the silly face. The silly face is going. And it worked perfectly. Okay, so those are the ghosts. Let's do the Midi pumpkin next. Anyway, so in my program where I design my molds, I go in, I scale the drawing and then adjust things so that things are still just as solid, I'll say. And then like make it into the 3D model. So that's the way that I like to do it, but that also means that it can take a little more time than maybe people would like. You know what I'm saying? So it just takes me time to do all that. And I test them, as you can see by me testing this. Now this pumpkin, I probably didn't really need to test because I have this in a micro mini, I think. I know I have it as a mini. So the fact that it works in the smaller versions, like usually going up in size is pretty safe. But I want to be sure. I don't want to send somebody something and then it doesn't work. You know? Okay, so next week, perfecto, I'm going to see the vagina monologues. Has anybody ever seen that? I haven't ever seen it yet. And a friend of mine is performing in it, so I was like, I'm going to go. This was not a request, but this is an early design of mine. It's a pumpkin truck. I don't know if you can see it. You probably can't. It's a truck carrying pumpkins. And I made that like design. It was one of my early designs, like probably the first year I was making bath bomb molds. So I only had this as a 3-piece. And especially as people order something, sometimes I'm like, oh, sometimes I'm like, oh, I know that person prefers hybrids and they just ordered a 3-piece. And I'm like, oh, they ordered a 3-piece because the hybrid is not available. And so sometimes I'll reach out to them and ask if they want a hybrid instead. Let's just put it there. Actually, I'll put a little yellow one here for the headlight, even though yellow is more taillight-y. And so I'll make the hybrid if they want that. But sometimes it's just like a design that I'm like, oh, I never made that into a hybrid and it's a fun design. And I want it as a hybrid because I prefer hybrids now. And so, but sometimes some designs like work as a hybrid, but not as a 3-piece and vice versa. I don't know why. I probably need to change a little something somewhere. But usually I just am like, I'm putting that on the shelf for now. Anyway, so this was one of those that the person ordered the 3-piece and they like 3-piece molds. But I was like, I like that design and I wanted a hybrid. And again, I'll try and show. Oh, I broke the surprised ghost. I put too many embeds in there. Nice. This came out perfectly. I will make another one if I have enough space at the end, but I don't think I will. Okay, next up, this is going to take a lot of mix. So let's do a different one. This is a Star of David. And this one was majorly inspired by some cookie designs that I've seen. I've started making cookies sometimes, like royal icing cookies. And I love it. Anyway, so I just liked the way that this design style that I saw in several cookies. And so I decided I wanted to make that into a mold. And so we'll see if it comes out because it's a lot of pieces that kind of stick out. Okay, come on. So one of the things I do like about hybrids though is besides them being consistent sizes without needing to like weigh everything. And by consistent, I mean like consistent weight. Because when I was using 3-piece, if I wanted them to be consistent weights, I'd have to like have my bowl on the scale and re-tare it every time and blah, blah, blah. And I didn't love doing that. So I like that hybrids, I don't have to, which means I'm much faster at making. But also, it's pretty easy for me to make a multi-mold with a hybrid. And so you can end up making, in about the time it takes you to make one, you can make 2 or 4. It probably takes a teensy bit longer because you got to put embeds in each of them and things like that. But, okay, let's see. I'm just going to tap that again a little bit. Feels like it's kind of sticking a bit. There we go. Oh, I love it. Oh my gosh. I can't wait for you to see that one. Okay. Next. Yeah, I definitely won't have enough mix to make another ghost. I do have another Hanukkah one, but I'm going to have to hold off on that because I have several others that I have to get to that impact orders. So, where's my water? There it is. Anyway, if you are, part of the reason my shop is like a total mess right now is that, like I said, I went to Maine. I don't know if I said it. I went to Maine last week. That was where I went on vacation. I have a friend who, it's kind of funny. It's a couple and they bought a condo at like the base of a mountain, a ski mountain. And I don't really ski, partly because the first time I tried to learn how to ski, I had just gotten laid off, and I realized like this is an expensive hobby, and I probably shouldn't be spending my money on that. Anyway, that was back in 2008. But they like to ski, blah, blah, blah. And my husband likes to mountain bike. So I was like, let's come visit you in the fall or late summer. And like my husband could go mountain biking and I could just hang out. Anyway, so my friend, Maury, who I've talked about, I'm sure, in here many times. I think she's even a member of the group. She loves going antiquing and things like that. And if you are from anywhere in the New England area, you probably have heard of the Brimfield Fair. Maybe if you're into antiquing, you've heard about it elsewhere too. I think it's like the largest, I don't know if it's antique fair, flea market fair. I don't know how you would describe it, but it's huge. Like, anyway, so she always goes there with a friend. And this year she got a tent. And she's like, she and her friend are selling, you know, antiques and blah, 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 blah. But she was like, usually when I go to visit her, she's got kids and like her kids are adults and have kids, right? So, oh, this mix is starting to go. Let's see if I can give it a little more and bring it back to life a bit. Anyway, so usually I bring like dead bath bombs that are broken or old, you know, basically I'm not selling them right now because they're, I would call them like clearancey. That might stay. This is a hybrid midi. I'm not going to sell it like this. It's just so that I could test 3 of the designs at once. But it's the midi Christmas tree. And I have that available in 3 design options. But this is what I mean about hybrids. Like you can make multiples at the same time. Anyway, so she was like, hey, why don't you bring those basically ones you're not going to sell, like you just usually give them to my grandkids and stuff, like bring them. And she's like, I'll bring them to the Brimfield Fair and sell them there as part of our little tent thing. So I basically like went through the shop and just pulled all sorts of like things. And so I was just, I mean, some of the things I pulled, I got from my house. Like they are things that I made 3 years ago that just been sitting in a box because they got in a box and I never finished making them. Anyway, so that was partly what I did at the shop to kind of as a good way to kind of clean it out a bit. But that meant I tore the place apart. And I haven't had a chance yet to put it back together. But also tomorrow I'm hosting a soap making workshop here. And so I need to get it cleaned out because I need to like get it set up for a workshop. So I was like, I guess it's time for me to finally get my act together here. Usually when I do a multi-mold though, I do like to have a bigger bowl because that's the hardest part of this, is the, you know, you got bath bomb stuff falling everywhere. The other challenge with it is if you're using a multi-mold is that you need to be able to hold it all in one hand. Some of them I try and put like a little handle on it. If it makes sense, I can put like a handle kind of thing on it so that when you lift it, you don't, it's just kind of makes it easier. But sometimes I can't do that. Like this one, it didn't really make sense to do it. I knew it. This embed is not in here right. Push down a little more. Push that one down a little more. It's the pink. The pinks are sticking up a bit. That might have messed it up. I don't care. Genesis says, hello, so jelly, Trish. I'm working, so I have a small screen. Girl, I have a small screen too. Trish is living the life, living large. Okay, we're just going to take this however it's going to go. And that's going to be it. Whatever it is. I can see a little bit of my embed poking out there, but I'm just going to deal. That could mean that it cracks as it dries, but whatevs. You know, it's interesting. My ghost that cracked, it was the first one I made. And so I wonder if I didn't mix in my binder enough. Okay, so this is where having two hands is very helpful, so you can like fully lift it. All three came out perfect. Nice. Okay, next up are some gnomes. So this came about because somebody did order some gnomes and they were 3-piece, and that's fine. Blah, blah, blah. There's a reason. I basically was like, ooh. Oh, basically the mask maker was like, these are super cute. And I was like, oh yeah, I've always been meaning to get back to those and make some more things that the gnome is holding. So I made a few things for the gnome to hold. And I have 3 for the gnome to hold. And I'm not going to get through all 3 of those. Plus, I have a different gnome that way back when I had first started designing, like the gnome again was one of my early ones. I originally was going to do a girl gnome too. I don't know if it's a girl gnome. It has long hair. Okay, is that a girl? I don't know. Could be a guy. Just because you got long hair don't mean you're a girl. But in fact, in nature, I would argue you'd be a guy. Because in nature, the males have the nice manes and things of that nature. Anyway, so I went back in. I made, so far, I've got a ton of ideas for other things for the gnome to hold. But I'm starting with these, which are holiday based. But also, I went back to that girl gnome, I'll call it, and made her. And I remember that I had given up on her back when I did it before. I was like, it wasn't working, and I basically moved on, and that's when I made this gnome instead. But it's been probably at least 4 years, maybe 5 years since that happened. And I have learned a lot about 3D design since then. So I made her. Okay, hold on. Oh, yes. Okay, I'll show you guys that in a moment. It's a gnome holding a Christmas ornament bulb. But let's get this, because I don't think I have enough to do more than one. So I am just going to do this one that I started 4 years ago. And let's see if it can finally be done. But this is what I also mean about, like, sometimes, oh my gosh, I almost put yellow there and that would have looked like she was peeing. So changed it up. What was I just going to say? This is why, like, when I say that, like, people will be like, oh, can you make a MIDI version of this? Yeah, probably, but it might not get done right away. So actually, if you have specific designs that you're looking for another size of, what I do offer to people now is you can pay basically like a prioritization fee. That basically means I will definitely do it. Like if I get a prioritization fee, I'm working on that next. Like it gets to the top of the list. If not, and that's fine. Like if you're not like, oh, I need it right away, that's fine too. Then I put it on the list, but it could be months or years before I get to it. Just because that's just how I have to do it. Okay. Ooh, almost dropped it. Oh, let's do one last one. There we go. And I feel like it's sticking. But it didn't! Oh my gosh. Okay, I have the feet sticking out, and I wonder if the feet shouldn't stick out. I'm questioning the feet. I specifically went back and changed the feet. I don't have enough to make. Let's make a surprised ghost again I don't think there's going to be enough for it though. There's definitely not enough for it. I'm going to leave that. Do I have a mini somewhere around here? This is why I usually have minis around, so I can just, I have little miceies. Let's make a couple little mouses. And I'll put yellow embeds in them because that's cheese. Maybe just ate some cheese. This was in the winter sub box a couple years ago. Speaking of, sub boxes are still available for ordering. They close September 15th. They will go out the first half of October. So by October 15th, they will go out. And this time for this sub box, I couldn't make two. I tried to make two, but I don't think I have enough to make two. For this sub box, people are going to be able to kind of customize the box a bit. So if you've ever looked at my sub boxes before, you'll know that I do already offer, like, you can get a starter box, a mega box, a regular box. Like, so there's already a bit of customization in that you're kind of choosing the sizes and stuff that you want, and how many you're getting. But now what I'm doing is for some of the designs, some of the sizes. So I know for sure regular size this month, this quarter. You will be able, like for instance, the mega box, you get 3 regular size bath bomb molds. And I've so far made 5. And instead of me picking what 3 you get, you're going to be able to choose the 3. But like if you get a starter box, you only get 1 regular size. And normally I'd just pick one of those that you get, but you'll be able to choose the one that you get. So there's a bit of customization coming to the sub boxes. Those things go out. The requests for what you want will go out basically once the sub box closes, and it's a very tight timeline to get it back because we got to start printing them. But anyway, that's an option for sub boxes this time. I'm playing with it this time to see how it works. I knew it. The one that I couldn't fill up messed up as I lifted. Okay, let's bring this over here. Whew, hands are sweaty. I wonder if I can bring the camera over here to show you. Get ready for a roller coaster ride. Woo! Woo! Yeah! Oh! Okay, hold on. Sorry, on a 55-inch TV, this is probably pretty extreme. Okay. So we've got my messed up surprise ghost. And then we got the happy ghost. And we got the angry ghost. And then we got the silly ghost. Hold on, I'm going to get more lighting here. Hold on a second. There. Okay. So those are my midi ghosts, which these are already available as full size. And I think they're already available actually as minis and maybe even micro minis. And then there's a midi pumpkin. And this is the pumpkin truck that I've been wanting to make. These are the midi Christmas trees. So we've got the plain tree, the decorated tree, and the kawaii tree. And then this is the gnome holding a little, trying to get it there so you can see it. But anyway, holding like an ornament, Christmas ornament. And this is the Star of David that I love. I love how that came out. And those are my little mice. But here's the other gnome. That's the like little gnome with long hair. And you see the feet? I'm torn about that. So if you look at this gnome, the feet are like behind the beard. In this one, it was like I had the feet sticking out, and I'm not sure yet which one I like. Anyway, that is it. Thanks for joining. And I'm going to have to test out. Oh, I'll show you what the other ones look like at least. So I have a gnome. Can you see it? That's holding a Christmas tree. Let me put it down here. That might be easier to see. So there's a gnome holding a tree. It's not necessarily a Christmas tree. And then this is the one I'm kind of concerned it may not work, but a gnome carrying a dreidel. And then here's another I'm not sure will work, but I'm going to test it soon, is a menorah. I feel like there's not enough Hanukkah molds out there. Anyway, that is it. Thanks so much for watching, and happy making. Let me find my mouse so I can end this live stream. And are you looking at my nose? I will get these molds. These bath bombs have to dry, and then I will take pictures and weigh and all that stuff, and then I'll get them listed. So it'll be after this weekend because, like I said, I have this soap making workshop tomorrow, And that's going to be filling up my time prepping for that. Like my place, do you want to see how messy my place is? Look at this. I got to get this, all this. It's a mess. And that's got to be cleaned up for people to make soap. So anyway, happy making, and